Hello and welcome to In My Mug, episode 634. This week we've got an Ethiopian coffee called Telila Yukro. It's a wash processed coffee, and I decided to come to the cupping table to taste it with you and to discuss flavours. And before I talk about the coffee, let's talk about what I'm doing right here, cupping. Cupping is massively important for coffee buying and for coffee professionals. It is not the best way of tasting a coffee. It gives everything a level playing field. I've got 12 grams of our coffee, relatively coarse grind, in a bowl. I've topped it up to the top here with hot water. We're gonna leave it 4 minutes, and when I hit that 4-minute mark, we're gonna break the crust. What that means is all of these grounds have risen to the top and formed a layer, and I'm gonna use my spoon, dip it into the front, and I'm gonna use the back of the spoon to lift that crust and get all the aromatics that are trapped underneath there in a lovely gush coming up. We're going to stir it 3 times. We're going to do that. I'm going to clean away anything that's left floating on the top, and then we can go and actually start cooking. It is slurping from a spoon. It makes a very silly noise. If you're doing this with a straight face when you're learning, you're not doing this right. The point is to really aerate the coffee over your palate, and you get all those interesting flavors. Now, I really recommend, if you're going to try this at home, and it's very achievable, you don't need to do it in a mug, you can do it in a cup. Nice hot bit of hot water, really easy to do. Sometimes you want to try a really small amount of coffee on the spoon and slurp aggressively. Get you that you love the aromatics. Sometimes you want a bigger spoonful, less aggressive slurp, and you'll really get that kind of texture, mouthfeel, weight of it. And these are all great qualities of a coffee, and all parts of it that you can appreciate during cupping. And it's great to really try and appreciate the coffee in all that variety. We also want to come back to that coffee over time. That can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 20, 30 minutes, because different flavors will start to come to the fore. Give my break. That smells really good. There's a little bit of floralness to it, which we might expect from Ethiopia. Not quite as perfumey and jasmine-y as you might see with a lot of wash yogurts. And that's because this isn't a wash yogurt. It's from the Jimma region. Now, the Jimma region is kind of northwest of Yirgacheffe, so it's pretty much goes straight west of Addis Ababa, and it's famous for what tend to be called limu coffees. And we haven't had a limu coffee here. It has been for quite a lot of years now. We haven't seen as many good ones around. It's quite hard to find them, but they can be fantastic. And we cooked this, and we just loved it. Now, the profile, typical profile, is a bit different than your washed Yirgacheffe. If you think about a washed Yirgacheffe and a lot of washed Ethiopians, you'd be thinking floral, black tea, maybe a bit of lemon. Now, some of that carries over into the Jimma. This one, typically, we'd expect for a Jimma, slightly more complex acidity, probably citrusy, but maybe some other fruit flavors in there as well. Very clean, a bit more body, a bit juicier. And we're not really expecting that floral or black tea kind of note. We're up to kind of 5.5 minutes, so I'm going to try it for a little sip. Very small amount on my spoon. There. Now, the flavors are still a little hard to get, so I'm going to let it cool down just a little bit more before I start talking about those flavors. So this is from a washing station called Telila, owned by a guy called Mike Mamo. Mike's just bought the washing station a couple of years ago, so this is still very early on in the process work he's doing there. He's trying to really focus on getting the details right, looking after the small stuff, and that gives you great coffee. This lot is called Telila Yukro. So it actually comes from smallholders around the village of Yukro. That's pretty normal for Ethiopian washing stations. So you'll have smallholders in a region, harvest their cherry, take it to the local mill, sell them the cherry, and the mill does the processing. And that's what we've had here. Mike's bought coffee from the Yukro village. Another thing that's really interesting about it though is this lot that you have is from one day of taking coffees from that village. It's pretty common in Ethiopia that actually a washing station will keep buying cherries until it reaches a certain amount and say, that's our full processing run. Let's wash these coffees, dry these coffees, and there's a lot. This is only about a quarter of the size of a typical lot from Ethiopia because it's only representing that day at Yukro. And I really think that's helped contribute to really clear, interesting flavors in this cup. So let's go back again. There is a bit more body than you might associate with washed Ethiopian, as we talked about, it's got a really juicy body, very velvety and smooth. Now, my first instinct is almost to kind of say citrus, but actually, particularly it cools down a little bit. Although the acidity is really bright, it's very much like a fresh white grape. Yeah, fresh white grape on that first bite. And then, as it kind of comes to the end though, there is a citrusy kind of thing, but it's more like passion fruit. It's got that kind of slightly tropical edge to it. Now, even just another minute or so that I was chatting there and it's cooling down a little bit more, I'm really getting this very present nectarine. And I didn't notice it when it was really hot, but as soon as it's cooled down a little bit and it's there, it is really dominant and I just can't see past it. It's really obvious there. It's a really lovely, fresh nectarine. There's just something, it's pretty hard to pin down. Very tropical, like maybe kiwi fruit. Like just this tiniest little bit of something that's really unusual. Now that I've thought nectarine as it's cooling, it is just like biting into a fresh nectarine. You've got beautiful texture, sweetness, velvetiness. This is really delicious. I hope you enjoy it as much as I have, and look forward to talking to you soon.